Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for yet another match of the Pacific Nations Cup. This one is an absolutely monumental clash between two Pacific Island greats. It is going to be Tonga taking on Fiji in what promises to be an exciting game full of young players making their way into the squads and also a few familiar faces, but not just for Tonga, also for the All Blacks and for the Wallabies. The likes of Charles Piutau, Israel Folau, making their way back in there for Tonga, but the Flying Fijians, they have got a tough side. They've got home field advantage as the game is being played in Suva, Fiji, and should be absolutely outstanding. I can't wait till it gets underway. Currently, we have got the national anthem of Tonga playing in our eardrums, but looking through at Fiji, first of all, they are the home side for this matchup. It is an all-Fijian draw front row with Hireti Hatet, then it is Ikanaviri there at number 2, and Manasa Saulo at number 3. Then Sila slots in at 4, Ratuva at 5. Now the big three in the loose forward trio, they are dangerous. Kunavola, Nesove, and Albert Tuisu slotting in at number 8. Then from there, Frank Lamani will be at 9. Tetetela at number 10. Ravovo at number 12. So all three playing for the Fijian Drewers. So the chemistry may already be there for some of these Fijian players. Nayatha Levu, he's been playing in the top 14 for Stade Francais. He is the captain of the side, and he is an absolute try-scoring machine when he gets going. Speaking of try-scoring machines, Vanaya Habosi out on the left wing. He is on debut for this matchup. No Tuisova, no Semi Radradra, no Nkothi, but you've got Vanaya Habosi, and he is an absolutely brilliant player for the Fijian Drua. Had the most defenders beaten in the Super Rugby competition. This man loves playing at this ground. He was able to tear it up against the Highlanders during the Super Rugby Pacific competition. Then it is going to be Wainet Nyolo out on the other wing and Tuithuvu slotting in at fullback. Now looking through at Tonga, you'll see some big names there in the back line. But first of all, Fisiahui there in the front row alongside Sam Molly and Siate Tokolahi, the man who plays for the Highlanders throughout Super Rugby. Then it will be Fafita and Polanaiti as the lock duo. Halafanua slotting in at 6. Solomoni Funaki and Sione Tuipalotu there at 8. Then from there, Sinotane Takalua, he will be the captain of this Tongan side. He is at number 9. William Havili slots in at 10, normally playing fullback for the match. I'm watching it on World Rugby now. You have to turn off your Windows location service. So I'm nutty, so it's awesome that it is going to be working out for you. Tonga says it was Halali Lika and also Malago Fiji Go. Says Josefa, and also where you're watching it at. I am watching it on Sky Sport 1 here in New Zealand, but you can watch it on the World Rugby website if you are in the right country to be able to watch it. Then looking through at the centres, Malakai Fekatoa, the last time we saw him at international level, it was for the All Blacks. Now getting a second lease on international life, playing for Tonga here. Then it is going to be Taumapo, slots in at number 13. Tuatavuki, the young flying winger for the Tongans, has been playing, I believe, for Moana Pacifico. I think he was in their lineup, but didn't get too many opportunities throughout the regular season. Israel Folau out on the other wing. He is a massive player to have here for the Tongans. He was playing for Australia. I believe he had 70-plus Wallabies caps, now getting himself the opportunity to play for Tonga. And then the last name, we can certainly not forget him. It's going to be Charles Piutau, playing for the Bristol Bears throughout the Gallagher Premiership, and we'll be looking to bring that form into this competition up against the Flying Fijians. Quickly looking through at the benches, Sam Matavisi, brilliant first name to have for Fiji. Then it is Eroni Maui and Tagi there at number 18. Ratunaya Rawa starting in at 19. Kamikamita at number 20. Matawalu 21. Tamani Valu at number 22. And then Manasa Mateli, the Crusaders, ex-Crusaders, now Western Force player, will be excited to get himself a late run for Fiji in this contest. Seula Mali starting in at number 16. Lolohia and Apakatoa, the other men in the front row replacements for Tonga. Sione Havili getting the opportunity. So another debut for Tonga here. Loto Anisi, Manu Paia, James Fiver, and Tima Whainānuku. Now, the interesting thing with that is his brother Lester Whainānuku will be playing in about 4 hours' time for the All Blacks, making his debut. So 2 Whainānuku debuts in the same day for 2 different countries. That family will be definitely torn for who to support if we ever saw Tonga versus New Zealand again. But nonetheless, the hakas have been done, and we're almost ready to go in this contest. Like I mentioned, it's in Suva. I can't wait because this game I've been waiting for a long time. My prediction was that Fiji would be able to win it, but Tonga are certainly going to be able to put in a good fight Go Tama, Sef Tonga, says Tommy there as well. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will be the player that scores the first try of this contest? I'm going to say Vanaya Habotsi on debut, going to make a big impact. And if it's not him, it's going to be the man marking him, Israel Folau, because he loves a high ball. Ben O'Keefe is currently in Fiji, so he will not be taking part in any of the later fixtures of the day, unless, of course, he flies to Australia to be able to referee that game between Australia and also England. That will be another game that we are covering on the channel as well. But now, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for this Pacific Nations Cup match to get underway between Tonga and Fiji. Tonga will be kicking it off. It is William Havili going from left to right here, just inside of the 22. It's going to be cleaned up nicely by Fiji. Now, position will be an important factor. We did see in the last game that Australia, they did just go down up against Samoa. But the big thing was position. They had more of it in the first half, which was actually quite surprising because Samoa had the 19 points on the board compared to the 7. But kick downfield now from Tetetela, taken nicely by Charles Piatel, his first touch in a Tongan kick. He tries to step as well. Nice pass off to Solomoni. Well, in fact, no, sorry, it was actually Takalua cleaned up that one. Now off to Sione Tuipoloti. This is going to be an exciting game of rugby. Takalua passes back. William Havili, little bit of a juggle, but does manage to clean it up, and he is tackled by Akinaveri. So it's Moana Pacifica going head-to-head. Oh, that's a big shot there on the midsection of Sione Tuipolotu. He's put the ball down. Big shot from Ratuva. And it will now be a scrum feed for Fiji in front of a sellout crowd. It was a little bit quieter in the game between Australia and Samoa than we were anticipating. But this game has certainly got the crowd in numbers. Ratuva, he just locked on to Sione Tuipolotu, said, I'm going through you. And got Jerome backwards and the tackle as well. But they're showing the benches. Tima Whainā, Nuku, James Fiver, the back replacements for this game, alongside the number 21, which for this game is Manu Paia. Will get a late opportunity, although I would assume Sonotane Takalua will be having a majority of this match. And is he playing? He is indeed. He is out on the right wing for this game, marking up against Vanaya Habosi. There's already a cut on the eye of, I think that is Vaikoso Pulanaiti. So it's only been 1.5 minutes. He's already got blood coming out of his head. Now, there's no TMO, I should mention. So anything that happens off the ball, it's probably not going to get seen as well as if the TMO was able to go back for it, which I'm not saying that there'll be a couple little shots in the breakdown, but there could be a bit of extra physicality out there if you know that you could possibly get away with it. These two front rows are huge. Hatet, Akinaveri, and Solo going head-to-head with Fisiahoi, Molly, and Tokolahi. The Fijian reserves. I like the look of Manasa Mateli and Sam Matavisi. I think those two are the ones who I think will be the most likely to have a bit of an impact. But 1 minute 29 through this contest currently. My scoreboard still doesn't realize it's kicked off, which is unfortunate, but there's still some blood getting... Oh, no, they've managed to stop the bleeding for Vaikoso Pulanaiti, and he will be definitely playing in the upcoming match that we get to see between Tonga and whoever wins the Asian qualifier. It will more than likely be Hong Kong. Whoever wins that game goes on and makes their way to the finals. Up, Kiwi lads, is Anton Lienert-Brown playing tonight? He is not currently injured for the whole season, unfortunately, Anton Lienert-Brown. So in the midfield, they have gone Quintupaia and Rico Ioane for the All Blacks there. We will go like that. Hopefully the scoreboard does realise that the game has started relatively soon, but I will keep you guys updated. It's 2 minutes into this contest now. Fiji have the ball back to Tetela. Kicks it in behind, looking for a possible 50-22. It's curved beautifully. And that is a strike and a half. And there's going to be a nice bit of territory played by Fiji. I believe it was taken back into their half. No, it wasn't. It was a 50-22. So now Fiji, only 10 metres out from the line, are going to have a rolling maul opportunity. As long as Tavita Akinaveri can get this one relatively straight, could be a very handy tool to have for Fiji in the early stages of this competition. So this game is actually very similar to Fiji and Rua versus Moana Pacifica. All of these guys, or a majority, wouldn't have actually had Super Rugby contracts, unfortunately, heading into this matchup, or heading into the season of Super Rugby, had it not been for the Pacific Island sides getting added to Super Rugby. And I'm absolutely ecstatic that they were. And I hear that Damian McKenzie coming back to the Chiefs. He will be a big signing for the Chiefs if he does end up coming back. But Akinaveri hanging on to this one at the back of the rolling maul for the flying Fijians. Always hard to stop when you've got a 4-pack of about 900 kgs who love going for. Frank Lamani now goes for the offload. He actually ended up messing that up, though. He got a little bit stuck, and now it's the penalty to Tonga. only a few metres out from their line. Brilliantly done by, I want to say that it was Sam Molly who got right in there, causing a bit of a problem for Frank Lamani. We'll be disappointed with that one. Lamani had a pretty good season overall. He used to play for the Rebels, also had a season at the Northampton Saints, but has now made his way into the side for the Fijian Rua, and he will be absolutely loving the fact that he gets to play alongside his Fijian teammates. And also any live streaming sites, says Harsh, I believe, depending on the country that you're in, you may be able to watch this game on World Rugby's website. If you know the World Rugby, I think it's just worldragby.com. Be sure to check that out, see whether or not it does let you. If not, you will need a VPN to be able to watch it on their website. Come on, Fiji, says Stubbs there, and Isaac lads, I miss you so much. I haven't really been anywhere, Ollie. I've been here each and every week. We have got 4 more live streams tonight that we are covering on the channel for live commentary. So it's going to be a very hectic one, but it should be extremely entertaining. If you're not in Australia or New Zealand, you can watch it on the World Rugby YouTube channel, says Simon Hughes there. Also, you don't even have to watch it on the website. It is on their World Rugby YouTube channel. That is very handy. So, yeah, be sure to check that out if you guys haven't already. But now Takaloa kicks it high. The box kick looks like it's going to be contestable. Vinaya Habosi, he's fallen awkwardly and has been pushed into touch by Fiji. Vinaya Habosi, that was his first touch at international level, but it didn't quite come off the way that he would have liked it to. Lost for 4.5 minutes through this match. I am hoping the scoreboard does update itself soon, as I don't think it realizes that this game has started, which is a bit weird. But luckily there haven't been any points scored yet in this match, so it doesn't affect us too heavily. But hopefully it does realize as soon as there's a try that this match is underway. But Vinaya Habosi went up for it, and then he landed extremely hard. He actually ended up with the ball hitting kind of in that soft spot there, although it's probably not soft for him. It's probably made of pure muscle and granite. But on the halfway line now, Takaloa about to feed this ball in for Tonga. Got a different haircut as well since we saw him last. The last time we saw Tonga in action, it was actually in the end-of-year internationals, I believe. They had their game up against England. I'm watching it on World Rugby, listening to you, says Abe there, so I do appreciate that a lot. And like I mentioned, we have got plenty more live streams coming tonight. We've got Ireland versus New Zealand, Australia versus England. That is a big push from Fiji at scrum time. They've driven the Tongans backwards, and now 40 metres out from, or in fact on the halfway line, they are going to have themselves the penalty. And also Reed says he's going to get you a ballerina costume. Appreciate it. I mean, I've already got a Harry Potter one, so I guess I could do a little bit of a mix-up, bit of a remix, as it's called. 5.5 minutes through this contest. Tititela will now be kicking it for touch. It's going to go down to about the 22 line, and Ikanaveri will once again have the line-out throw. But this game's going to be full of physicality, full of fast-paced, entertaining rugby, offloads, big hits. It's just pretty much the Pacific Islands at its finest when it comes to their rugby. And Tonga would love to be able to join its Pacific Island counterparts in Fiji and Samoa making their way into the World Cup. They've got their game up against more than likely Hong Kong in about, I'd say, 15 to 20 days' time, I think it is, that their next one is taking place. But it's a big run now from Ikanaveri. Breaks straight through, but he is dragged down by William Arveli, who just got the last touch on him. Vinaya Habosi finds the offload, and Fiji score straight between the sticks. And it's going to be Tavita Ratuva who's gone in for the first try of the match. It didn't take him too long at all either. And also Vanaka Ruarua. And as I says, but it's brilliantly done to Vita Ratuva, scoring the first try of the match. And he is, I want to say, a very happy man. He hasn't really got a smile, though, at the moment. He's a very big man, that is for sure. I wouldn't want to try and stop him and a tackle, but it was good pace initially shown from Ikanaveri. Then Habosi found the offload off to Ratuva, and he ends up going over for the first try of the match for Fiji. And now Tititela with a nice, easy kick straight out in front of the post. It is going to be 7-0. Yep, that kick has gone over. Brilliant start to the match for Fiji. Tititela will be very impressed with that one. Right, is the scoreboard going to play ball? Doesn't seem like it, does it? It seems like it is slightly asleep at the moment, so we might have to either update it. Tell you what, we'll go like this. Okay, it's still not updating itself as of yet. We'll go like that. Right, we'll have to wait and see whether or not it does update in the next kind of 3 or 4 minutes. If it doesn't, we will just add our own one. And show us, please, says Harsh. Sadly, due to live streaming, I guess, regulations, we aren't actually able to show any of the footage. And also, why can't you show us live? And there says Richard, pretty much due to copyright. If we were to show any match footage or audio, we get taken straight off YouTube. But yeah, like R3 Ronan has said, if you use a VPN, you will be able to get this game anywhere in the world. And also won the Aussie A game. It was Samoa who were able to win that game, and they did end up winning it 31 points to 26, I believe it was. Who's in Fiji's squad? I hear a heap load of them come from Drua and some from Aussie Super and New Zealand Super. Is that true, says Mark? One moment. We will go like this. And we will go like that. There you go. That is the starting lineup that Fiji have decided to go with in this contest. So they have got a couple of those overseas internationals, such as Naifa Levu, the captain, been playing in the top 14 more recently. Tuisu, I believe, was at London Irish. And then that whole front row is all a Fijian Drua front row. Hiariti Hatet, Tavita Akanaveri, and also Manasa Solo. But Vanaya Habosi had a brilliant run there, driving up to 40 metres out from the line, but it is now going to be the scrum feed for Tonga once again. So they've had more scrum feeds throughout the early stages of this contest, but we have actually seen more successful scrums from Fiji, even though they haven't had too many feeds for themselves. But while we are at it, it is 7-0 in this contest, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the starting lineup that Tonga have gone with in Samoa. And there says Jesse as well, guys, Hamish doesn't have a spare 50 million to show the game, says Xavier Brown. And that's the thing, if we did somehow have that much money available, I would certainly be showing the game, that is for sure. And also I got Fiji to win because the Drua played good this year, says Abron. And they certainly went well for their first season. Same with Moana Pacifica. I have a few players in the Tongan lineup. But I love the fact that we are going to get to see Pacific Island rugby in Super Rugby. Not just that, but also a Pacific Nations Cup and the Rugby World Cup. It is certainly a good time if you do love watching Pacific Island nations playing off in a game of rugby. And also we've got their Samoa 31, Australia 26. Very close, says Tups there. Yeah, went down to the wire. But in the end, it was the Samoans who were able to score in at about the 78th minute. And goddamn, all the top rugby clubs definitely seeing them doing good in the next Rugby World Cup, says Mark. And the thing is, of that lineup, I should mention, in this game, they aren't playing Nkofi. They aren't playing Tuisova. They aren't playing Semi Radradra. They aren't playing Pafiliato. They have got players that they have got waiting for their opportunity. Now, this is 1 minute through this game, but it's currently 7-0 to Fiji, but at least the scoreboard is starting to wake up a little bit of yo back of Fiji in this game. Let's go, boys. Says Jesse, and it's a nice back line. And for the corner, it is going to be Wainakiolo, who does end up scoring the try. That is the second try of the match for Fiji. I took Fiji and 10 points in this game on Super Brew. Is 10 points going to be enough, though? Jita Wainakiolo has been able to score the try in the 11th minute. Fiji are on fire here, and they have been able to score the 2 tries in the very early stages of this match. I'm about 3 kilometres down the road from where this is being played. It is pissing down, says Ed. Wait, 3 kilometres down the road from where this is being played. Currently, it looks like it's actually sunny there. So I guess how quickly the weather can change. So maybe it is going to be just around the corner for some weather to be cutting up rubber. And let's go Fiji, first leg of the multi, says Abron. Who else do you have in your multi, Abron? Do let me know. That is going to be Jita Wainakiolo scoring the try, and that is the second one of the match already. We have seen Ratuva score at Sunshine Coast. Oh, this game's actually in Suva at the moment for this one. So that might be all right relatively for us because, yeah, it is Suva, Fiji for this game, but I believe next week we are going to be in Lautoka for the next games. But today, Teller sitting 1 from 1 tonight, about to line up this kick. We're looking to get it straight over. He's had a decent kicking record for the Fijian Drua throughout the season. I feel like Samoa and Fiji are going to be the finalists. Samoa had a really good win against Tonga 2 times last year, says Mark. And like they were mentioning, the last time that we've seen these two sides play off, it was actually in 2019. So it's been a little while. And also we have got there, I want to please A, says Jesse. I'm not sure what that means, but I think, is it a compliment or is it an insult? I'm not too sure. And also France both halves. New Zealand 1-12 and Australia 1-12, says Oberon. Okay, so you are starting to get there. So Fiji just to win, I assume, Oberon, or is it Fiji to win by a certain margin? And under-20s play last night, New Zealand put 74 on Fiji on the Sunshine Coast. Okay, thought they were here. Says Ed Smith. Yeah, pretty one-sided contest. That's going to be now back in the hands of Fiji. It is Sione Tuipulotu running sideways. Doing nicely there now. Takalua off to Seula Mai. Or in fact, it's Sam Mully, sorry, has got that ball. Seula Mali coming off the bench instead. Now it's the back line. It's going to be a good run forward from the outside centre. And I'm looking through, seeing Israel Folau, Charles Piatoa, and Malakai Fekatoa in the back line as well. It's dangerous. William Havili now wide pass from Malachi Fekatoa. Sione Toipalotu goes to Tuatavuki. Does manage to clean it up quite nicely. 20 metres out from the line now for Tonga. Driving around the side, it is the big number 6. Now going back across, just trying to keep this ball alive for Tonga as long as they can, and also not an insult, says Jesse, and also where's the stream. Sadly, due to licensing, we're unable to show match footage or audio, but we can tell you that we are going to be doing all of the commentary. Nice short ball to Alamana Matanga, looks for the offload, but Titi Teller steals it, and now it was almost a counter-ruck or a counter-attacking opportunity, but instead going back for the initial penalty, and the bro can't stream the live due to copyright, says Jesse. Yeah, as soon as we show any match footage or audio, they take us straight off YouTube, and you do get banned for 3 months, which pretty much means we're jobless or unemployed for our next 3 months of the year, which is pretty tough overall, just because, you know, jobs are normally quite useful. Keep you busy, keep the bank account going, even though, to be fair, all the money from the channel goes straight into our live streaming software that we did pay for. The annual fee, not too long ago, it still says it's 0-0. It's 12-0 to Fiji. Hopefully it does update relatively soon on the board, and they do work out that we are a bit further through the match than they have anticipated. In the last Pacific Nations, they came second to Japan. Says 3 Ronan, and also Fiji have won Pacific Nations 5 out of 6 past seasons, and you should wear a shirt that have warning. I hear it a lot in there as well. Or with that warning, I hear it a lot, says Nutty. Could be an idea in the future, perhaps, but now it's going to be only a few metres out. Sam Molly about to throw this one in. And Samoa versus Australia scoreboard in 2011 was 23 or 32-23, pretty similar to today's game, says Mark. Now the rolling ball for Tonga starting to open up. They've been told to use it once. Sam Molly waiting for it at the back, may even offload it back to Takalua. See if they can get this one going forward a little bit more. Sam Molly. Now Takalua wants it. It doesn't look like Molly's giving it up, though. This is dangerous because if Fiji can shut this down, it is going to be their scrum, and they do. Sam Molly, unfortunately, that lack of experience, not willing to give it off to Takalua. He was slapping him on the back going, give me the ball, please. But he just wouldn't give it up. And the Tongans in support of Tonga here. Looks like they've got quite a big crowd. We've got a few flying Fijian kits in the crowd. And as ever, we have missed your presence on the footy field. Big love to you, Toko, says Marco Vanapola there. And it will be interesting to see how much of an impact he can have out on the wing. I don't believe he's touched the ball as of yet. We have seen Fekatoa get his first touch. We have seen Piatau get his first touch. But we have not seen one from Israel Folau yet. No good having flashy backs like Folau, Fekatoa, and Piatau. Can't dominate the forward exchanges, a.k.a. Bowden and the Blues, in the Super Rugby Pacific final, says Solo. Exactly right. At the end of the day, it's very handy having those big players. Like, their backline's going to be crisp. But if you can't get it out of the back of your own scrum and you can't win it in the breakdown, that is when normally it starts going a little bit downhill for a side. Because you could have a world-class backline, but you need that 4-pack to back them up as well. But now Frank Lamani off the back gives it off to Albert Tuisu. Now Ravovo driving nicely. 10 metres out from their own line here. 1 Atumoli, 2 Latu, and 3 big men. And there as well, says Marco Vanapola. Frank Lamani kicks it high. Don't believe there was a finger on that one. And it has gone into touch. Decent kick downfield. And it is going to be a line out for Tonga now, 40 metres out from Fiji's line. And the scoreboard still says 0-0, but it is 12-0 at the moment to Fiji, ladies and gentlemen. And also forwards win game back decided by how much, says Xavier there as well. Sam Molly about to throw it in. What I might quickly do while we are at it is I'm going to add my own scoreboard down the bottom. I'll put real score is 12 to Fiji. I bet you as soon as I do this, they will update like the scoreboard for me as well. But it's 12-0 currently over the top of Tonga. Malachi Fekatoa unable to clean that one up and now chipped in behind from Fiji. Nicely taken by William Havili, taking the catch over his head. That's a big shot on him, though. It's gone into touch on the full, and they will be going back. But William Havili got absolutely lined up now. His brother, David Havili, I believe they're brothers anyway. They will actually not be both playing in this round of international rugby. Unfortunately, David Havili has tested positive alongside Will Jordan and Jack Goodhue. So those three will be missing. And Tosaveti and there as well. Here's Karoi, but it was a great shot from Vinaya Habosi driving through the midsection of William Havili. Vinaya Habosi on his debut, he's certainly been an impact player for Fiji so far. He had the offload. That's a nice ball to the front. Not looking like Fiji. They know that they've got the more probably physical fullback in the early stages of this contest. So just trying to make sure that they do make the most of it. It's a nice drive once again. Lamani off short. Ben O'Keefe does well to evade, getting in the way of that one. I believe that was Hiareti Hatit. Now the try scorer from earlier on to Vera Ratuva. Important also we to watch out with that with VPN. Okay, so with the VPN, you can watch it from pretty much anywhere outside of New Zealand and Australia. You've just got to make sure that you set yourself so that your Windows on your computer isn't tracking whereabouts you are, if that makes sense. But without a VPN, it is really only on Sky and Stan Sport, sadly. And also, as Lester's brother playing for Tonga, he is indeed. He's got his debut. Going to be off the bench, Tima Whaiananuku, which is a bit strange because both Whaiananuku brothers, neither of them have ever had an international cap, and they both get the opportunity to bring it up at the exact same time. Well, not quite the exact same time, but the exact same weekend of rugby as well. And also we've got there Sam Lossi via Fafita slotting in there. Summer Penny female Zane. That would be Zane. What's his face? Vailanu, is it? No. Is that his name? No, Zane Capelli. Zane Capelli, sorry. And one of those Japanese Tonga number 8 behemoth Tongan forwards for the World Cup, says Marco Vunapola, and anything is possible. Currently 67% territory for Tonga. They have had more time in the opposition 22, but they are yet to get themselves any points on the board compared to the 12 that Fiji have been able to get. And Zane Capelli is the one, yeah. My brain took a little bit longer to register the name, but it did hit me in the end. And Zane from One Direction says Solo, and this is a tough match. As Solomon Kata playing, he is not playing in this contest, but I believe he is in the squad for the Tongan, so he will have a decent crack of playing one of these matches throughout the rugby, or I almost call it the Rugby Championship, but the Pacific Nations Cup. But currently 12-0 to Fiji after 18 and a half minutes. A very good start to the match. We have seen Wanakniolo Gano Wakata pass the ball. He won't be able to in this matchup, but the big question for me is, speaking of passing the ball, will Tima Whaiananuku and Lester Whaiananuku be able to find those passes that they will be after throughout the match? Because I know that straight away, Whaiananuku is going to go up against a very experienced head in Keith Earls. That will actually be the next game that we do cover on the channel. If the top Samoan and Fiji and also Tongan players that play for the All Blacks and Super were to split to their Pacific Nations team, do you think that will be a massive shock in the Rugby World Cup and in World Rugby? Says Mark. The thing is, it would definitely increase the skill of the Pacific Islands, which I would love to see. But then the other side of things is I think they have to be about 3 years without playing for an international side, which makes it a little bit trickier for them, because the likes of Richie Mo'unga, I know that was mentioned that he could end up playing for. I think people were saying that he could play for Tonga, a few of those other big boys in the midfield for the All Blacks. Australia, they've got Tongan Thor. Imagine Taniela Tupou playing for Tonga, and imagine Tupou playing for Tonga literally jinx right when I said it as well, because he would be an absolutely amazing aspect for them to have at the rolling maul, and also just in the scrums. But now Takaloa after Malakai Feketoa looking for the offload. It was forward though to Charles Piatel, and they will be going back now for the scrum feed. But currently 20 minutes through this match of the Pacific Nations Cup. It is the second game that we are covering on the channel today. Alongside it, we have got New Zealand versus Ireland. We have got, what else have we got? We've got Wallabies versus England. That is going to be taking place a little bit later on tonight from Australia. Then we've got the Springboks taking on Wales. And then the next one that we have got, the last game of the weekend, it will be Scotland taking on Argentina. Mo'unga is half Tongan, half Samoan. So I guess he's got the real pick of both. I guess it just depends on where he wants to play. Who's winning currently? It is 12-0 to Fiji, even though the scoreboard does say that it is going to be nil. It is actually 12-0 in favour of Fiji. Yeah, personally, I think Marina Makeli too and Peter Sawakula, old mate's barely a Kiwi. And there, and what I'm talking about, says Johnny, as Marina Makeli too is as Kiwi as I am. And also, but not France versus Japan, says I am nutty. Yeah, for some reason, they aren't showing France versus Japan and New Zealand, which is a shame, but I will keep you guys updated on what is happening in that one. And Piatel was one of the highest paid players in the world at one stage. Who is he playing for now? He is still at the Bristol Bears, still tearing it up in the Gallagher Premiership. Unfortunately for him, though, Bristol didn't quite have the season that they have in the past. In fact, not even finishing in about the top 8, I don't think, the Bristol Bears, but he's still a very good player. Now kicked for touch from William Arvelli, and also you can watch it with a VPN. Says I'm Nutty there, and also Flow Rugby has France versus Japan. Flow Rugby. I've heard mixed reviews about Flow Rugby overall. To be honest, Mo'unga is Christchurch's shining story. Says Marco Vanapola. Yeah. I was also born in Christchurch. Fun fact for anyone who didn't know, not to do with the shining story thing, but just fun fact. And then we did move south when I was about 3 or 4, but now it's going to be taken nicely there. Fafita takes it now off the Malakai. Fekatoa breaks the line. Habossi drags him down 5 meters out. Could this be the opportunity? Out to Israel Folau. First touch in a Tongan kit. But he has been dragged down 5 meters out for the line. Not left a lot of space there at all. Nice work from Tonga, though, with the ball retention. Takaloa has a bit of a handling error. Gives it off now to the big number 1, Fisi Ahoy. Waiting for it at the back. It looks like Alamana Matanga might decide to take on the carry himself, see if he can make an extra meter or so. Wait, are you born in Christchurch? I was indeed. Now the advantage in favour of Tonga. Fiji have to watch that discipline now. William Arvelli goes off to Malakai Fekatoa. Charles Piatau does the spin out of the tackle. And so far, Fekatoa has been looking pretty impressive. At number 12 now, Takaloa going back across to Fisi Ahoy. 22 meters out, 7 phases in. Nice offload. Fekatoa. He has a bit of a juggle. Gets driven sideways as well. It's going back for the initial penalty for offside, and that will be from about 10 to 15 meters out from the Fijian line. And also, Chichi Breeds, good lads then, brother. Much love, Hamish Top G. Says it was Marco. And also, we have got the TKO bro, your Cantabrian at heart. I should be, but I don't really support the Crusaders overall. Like, I don't support them any more than any other side in Super Rugby, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of my friends, they are all Crusaders and Canterbury supporters, but for me, I just find like it easy being impartial. I don't really have one side that I do love back. And hey, it says it's 7-0 for Fiji. It is a little bit more than that. It's currently 12-0 for the Fijians. And also, what's the time says, Aberon, currently we are sitting about 22 minutes through this contest. It was nice. Ball to Israel Folau, but he was tackled by Waiathalevu. That's a shocking line-out throw from Tonga. And now a big run from Akinaveri, getting some speed going. Tosa Vititoso. And there as well says stops. Now it says 12-0 on the scoreboard after 23 minutes in this contest as well. But now will be Tititela goes across. Nice backline movement starting to open up one more time. Now it is going to be Tuithuvu trying to back his pace. Offload on the inside to Lamani. Look for the offload. It does sit up though. Fort Wainet Nyolo. This is desperate. And Ravovo gets the ball to sit up for him. And it's the try. Kalaveti Ravovo. How did that happen for Fiji? It just looked like it was scrappy. The ball was going down. Tonga were trying their best to pretty much just get any hand that they could on it to stop it from taking place. But Fiji were determined to go over. Doesn't support the Crusaders. Come on, bro. Enough of that nonsense. I mean, they just don't quite do it for me, you know. I enjoy watching them play. They're a good side. But I wouldn't say they're my favourite team in Super Rugby. It was a great run. And it's a fun fact because my sister, when she went to kindergarten, her primary school teachers, because it was in Christchurch, like mum goes for Otago or the Highlanders. So the the kindergarten teachers would actually only let my sister paint with black and red so that she would go for the Crusaders rather than going for the Highlanders, fun fact. So a little bit of persuasion early on. But yeah, I think she does. She does go for the Crusaders now. I think about it. And also, Hamish is a Rebels fan and knows Callaway is better than Will Jordan. Says Xavier. Well, he will be this weekend because Will Jordan's probably in his bed resting up. And older sister as well says, Marco, calm down. Yes, I do have an older sister. It's all the information I'm giving you. Wait, Fiji scored. I thought Tonga was on Fiji live as well. They were, but then just a mistake from about 5 meters out. The Tongan line-out went wonky, and then it was just a massive run forward. Fiji making about 85 meters there, and they were able to score themselves a try. So it is currently 19-0 in this contest. We'll go like this and better than Jordan Sirius. And there, as I said, Solo, and also go Fiji, go. Says Anasek there. Now, Tonga will have another opportunity for offside. I think Mo'unga, in an old interview, surprisingly said that he would play for Samoa or Tonga if things didn't really work out for the All Blacks. So on a random TikTok vid, and older, oh yes, how much older? She's 25. No, she's not. She's 24, Johnny. It's literally, that's all the information I'm giving you. Nothing else. Imagine me with a wig. There you go. That's going to be a hard one to think about. And also, how old is the Fijian prop? He looks 40. So that is Manasa Solo. He's not quite 40. I think he's about 30, 34, 35, but he has been around for quite some time. And Falau must be thinking, why did I bother coming back? Says, I am nutty there. Well, currently 19-0. Tonga, they need him to touch the ball a little bit more. He's only had the one touch. Now, nicely taken at the front by, it was Leva Fafita. Now Sam Molly hanging on to this at the back. Now, last time that Tonga were down here, they made the mistake of hanging on to it for just a little bit too long. Sam Molly looks like he might make this mistake again. He's going to be dragged down only a few meters out from the line. They have still got this one round the side, trying to spin. That's close to held up, but just, yes, held up there. And it is going to now be the goal line dropout. So Tonga, they're just mistaking or making mistakes only a few meters out. And Maria Tutaia will be better. Would look better at fullback. As I said, Solo, and also it's been a while since I've seen Falau play. Welcome back, my brother. Says SK, yeah, last time he was playing, it was for the Wallabies a good few years ago, but he has been playing in the Japanese top league. Been looking pretty impressive in that competition and has earned himself the Tongan cap as well. But now Ben O'Keefe, and what's the score says, it was Leighton Lawrence. At the moment, it is sitting 12-0 on the scoreboard, but it is actually 19-0 to Fiji. So hopefully the scoreboard, even though it's had a shocker today, trying to keep up to date, hopefully it does end up updating it in the very near future. But I see that Tima Whaiananuku actually on the field a lot earlier than he would have been expecting. Those Fijian lads look super old. Tamani Valu, Peter Gus, that Fijian winger you had on the wing in high school as well, says Marco Vanapola, and also as he plays for the Shining Arcs, and Paddy Mabro. And there, as I says, Marco Vanapola, and Paddy is here as well. Oh. Okay, Israel Folau is off the field now due to limping after trying to chase a kickoff. So he is actually done for the day by the looks of it. Israel Folau, he had one touch of the ball, and now, unfortunately for him, he is gone. But they did try and do the goal line dropout. It was a little knock on the ground. So Tima Whaiananuku gets the early debut, and Petty Wagon graduated from Oxford. As on there says Solo. And now Takaloa does put the ball in, and it's going to be Sione Tuipalotu, only 5 meters out from the line now. Round the side, Malachi Fekatoa chasing the ball. Has he got it down? He sure does. And Tonga have been able to score themselves. So try Malachi Fekatoa, or has he? They might be going upstairs for this one. We have got a new member as well as Siane Piota. Thank you very much for hitting that membership button. It's hugely appreciated. You now have access to all of the emojis on the channel. If you are looking for a place to watch this game, I highly recommend World Rugby's website. For kindergarten as well says I'm nutty, and also you what I can Ben. Welcome, brother, as well says Betty. And there as well, but that is going to be the try for Tonga. And it's a yellow card for Tete Teller as well. So this could be the start of a comeback here for Fiji and Tosa Vetitoso. You should win by 40 points. Says Sequoia there. Although just conceding their first try. Tete Teller, come on, Tonga, watching from Zimbabwe. There's a rugby itch. So when do you leave for your... Oh, hang on. Did Malachi Fekatoa drop that? I don't think he did in the end. I think it was close, but he might have just had enough control over it. Wallaby goes off, and our All Blacks scores. Says Solo. And there as well. But one try for Malachi Fekatoa today. Maybe not his last one as well. So the score currently is 19 points to 5 at halftime. Once we do get to halftime, I'm actually going to make my own scoreboard just because this one is not quite playing the game currently. I think Ben O'Keefe wants to check this. Are they checking it? Okay. They want to check this one for Malachi Fekatoa, and how's the Tongan backline looking? Says Roman. Fekatoa for me. Oi, that was close to out of the hands, to be honest. Very close. And because of it, it's actually going to be a 5-meter tap for Tonga. So I believe that's a no try. No try for Tonga. 19-0 at the moment for Fiji, but there is still that yellow card, and Tosa Vetitoso, says Namani. And there, but the backline has been looking decent. Israel Folau, he got a little run, but now he's actually injured. So he won't get the opportunity. William Harvey goes for the cross kick. Tima Whaiananuku, it goes over his head. But Naya Habossi puts his body on the line to try and stop it. And that is going to be a blown opportunity for Tonga. So they finally got over the line, or so we thought, till Malachi Fekatoa did have the little knock on. But Naya Habossi, he's been working hard throughout the early stages of this contest, though. And also Toso Tiena Vitti. And there as well, says it was Solo. And also those academic blokes, these blokes started school, high school, university jobs within the uni. They've never actually left school and are still yet to grow up. And also, no try. So there's Abron there. So that will help out the multi just a little bit more at this point in time. But William Havili put in a bit too much juice on that kick to his Moana Pacifica teammate. Now a 22 dropout. It looks like Tuituvu will be the man who will be drop kicking this one. Now, I believe, if I'm not wrong, if I haven't got him mixed up with someone else, Tuituvu actually gold medal at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, which is pretty awesome. I'd love to see him at the Commonwealth Games that are just around the corner, as Fiji have never won themselves the gold at the Commonwealth Games. But we will be covering all of those matches for the Fijians, the Tongans, the Samoans, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, everyone who is in the Commonwealth Games. I think I may have listed one team that isn't in the Commonwealth Games. It's going to be awesome. See how it does end up going. But now Sione Takalua or Sawani. Sawani? Takalua? No, that's too short. What is his name? Sonotani. That is the one. I couldn't quite remember all of my syllables. But that one also the Australian flags from James as well. Of course, Australia playing later on tonight up against England. That will be an exciting contest. 9:55 p.m. kickoff. And we will be covering that game on the channel. Also, we will be starting our live stream at 9:45. We have got New Zealand versus Ireland coming up. And then alongside that, there will also be the two matches that are happening in the middle of the night, New Zealand time, Springboks versus Wales. And then alongside that, it is going to be the match between Scotland and Argentina. Also, says Tupa Fafita. And there's Sonotane Takalua. I don't know why I couldn't think of his first name there. And I was like, he didn't play today, says Joseph. Well, he's now injured, unfortunately for him. So he will not be playing for the rest of this match. Hold your nose and talk. And you sound like Malakai Fekatoa. Lasers off league. Here's Fekatoa Docs. And there, and All Black Sevens men have 5 Commonwealth golds. And yeah, and thanks for the update, brother. Always watching you, says Fotutu. Appreciate it a lot, mate. And we have got plenty more coming today. All that ball's been dropped by the try scorer earlier on, Ratuva. And now Tonga have got this ball just outside of their own 22. Takalua fires it back into the pocket to William Havili. Looks like they want to try and run this one. Malakai Fekatoa thinks he's got a decent crack all on the inside. After William Havili wasn't able to find the offload to Takalua as he was in front of him to go backwards. Now off into the hands of Fafita. And also Pistiliato. Look at it. I'm at 22. Look like 45 plus. He's one of my favorite loose forwards. And yeah, he's not actually playing in this series, I don't believe. But if he is, he isn't playing in this match, but he's going to be dangerous at the World Cup. That is for sure. Takalua, little bit of extra pressure there in the breakdown. He's done well, but they're going back for the penalty now for the initial. In fact, they're going back for the initial knock on. 33 minutes through. Scoreboard is still asleep, but it is 19-0 for Fiji. But luckily, it says it's at least 12-0, so we're somewhere on the right track as we currently sit. And although I hate on your screen, the screen is a bit behind, so I'll be quiet about the score. Says John, although we are at 19-0, it's just being weird for some reason. On Joseph Schuster, Maria Totoya forgot to. I have no idea what that means. And also, mate, my rugby union as well says Daddy Fat Six and Maria too tired. It's Maria Falau now, is it? Or is it Maria Tutaya? No, she didn't do the split, did she? Some people do end up going with like the split in the name as well. I'm trying to think of an example, but I can't actually think of any off the top of my head. But now it is going to be Sawane Takalua. No, it's not Sawane. It's Sanotane. I don't know why I keep on saying Sawane. I think it's Sawane Vakina that I keep on thinking of. And also, Hamish, sorry, not hated, says John. And also, Lome equals massage and Oga. The thighs. I see. It is live score 12-0. It's not quite. It is actually 19-0 to Fiji as we currently sit after 34 minutes. The scoreboard is a bit behind, so at halftime, I'm actually going to be switching to a different scoreboard so that we are back on track for that second half. So we'll be actually updating as we go. But the hands on the ruck penalty against Fiji, the discipline has been a bit on the shaky side for the Fijians throughout the early stages of this match. Tatele is still off the field. That is brilliantly done by Vinaya Harbosi. Keeps the ball in the field. A player now kicks it in behind, chasing it hard. It's going to be Piatel, lines it up. We haven't really seen Charles Piatel throughout the early stages, but now he starts to run, trying to break through. He's dropped the ball. And now Tima Whaiananuku tries to get it back for Tonga, but it's sitting on the halfway line, and it will be Vinaya Harbosi. Can't wait for New Zealand versus Ireland, packed out stadium. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And also, sorry, Hamish, okay, the scoreboard behind it is indeed. At this stage, now Sila has a nice run, offloads it up, now waiting for this ball. Tuisu takes it nicely. Lamani Off to the right-hand side, Fiji have not slowed down throughout the whole of this first half. Charlie playing well. Says Daddy Fat Sexy here. Charles Bertel, Israel Folau, and Malakai Fekatoa, the three big inclusions into that backline. Although now they have only got two of those men out there. Israel Folau currently injured and going to do a Kali Tahi Imenti parade. It's a big yawn, wasn't it? Frank Lamani now going off to Ikanaveri. It's probably not good that I'm yawning now because we have still got another about 15 hours of live streams, or being awake for another 15 hours for our 4 more live streams. Lamani goes off to Ratuva. He's dropped the ball. He looks like he's injured as well. He doesn't look too happy. I think it might be a rib injury for Ratuva, but they were playing advantage. And also we have got there, Benny Hamish will make all the games, says I am Nutty. And also what happened to Tonga's try. It actually got disallowed, but they did still end up with that yellow card to Tite Teller of Fiji. But they did say that Malakai Fekatoa just knocked the ball. He lost a little bit of control, which is why it is still 19-0 to Fiji, even though the scoreboard does say 12-0 at the moment. I think I'll make all the games. Like, that's the thing. Even if I'm tired, I will still power through. And more yawns than an Ian Foster interview. I love bringing up. Like, anytime Ian Foster's mentioned, I put him on a stick the other, year, pretty much, for our live streams. And he's just been on a stick ever since. I'm trying to put Scott Robinson on this side, but currently it's Zombie Stuart Hogg because the printer was running low on ink. Looks like Fiji are actually willing to take the 3 points here. Extend their lead a little bit more, make it 22 points, 2-0. Hey, the scoreboard's just updated. Must have heard me. But yeah, Stuart Hogg, he's a bit worse for wear. But Ian Foster, some would say the same. Is that too harsh? A little bit too harsh. Nice activity here. And there as well says Xavier Brown, but now it is going to be Tui Thuvu. We'll be lining up this one. And also we have got there, how are you, Hamish, seeing you after some time, says Coning. I hope you are doing well too, mate. I hope you did enjoy the New Zealand versus England series, and also India versus England taking place currently, and also Hocker the Foster on a stick. And I thought, well, that's gone spectacularly badly. I'm slightly embarrassed. Oh, well, that's what it is, says Sebastian. I assume we are talking the Romanian game. I don't actually know what the score was, but the last time I checked, Sebastian, it was 3-0 to Romania. So in my books, they won. I'm not sure about the end, though. And also Stuart Hogg, the Flying Scotsman, and what happened to Israel Folau. Unfortunately, a bit of a leg injury. But like I said, I recall last year when Hamish went right through, finished voiceless and pale as a ghost, as well, says Charles the Cock. And nice on Hamish. And there as well. So yeah, even if the voice is gone, we're still going to be here. I'll do sign language if I had to make it through all the matches. Okay, Romania 13 points to 45. That's not bad overall. Did you see the Sebastian, or did you see the video, Sebastian, I was going to say? And 21-0 to Tonga need to step up. Yeah, 22-0 now. And it looks like Titi Taylor back out on the field. And also Legend as well, says Charles de Cock. And also Hamish all the way from South Africa, says DWG's early morning start for yourself. I see 6:15 or so a.m. Or is it actually 5:15 a.m.? And the Romanian flags from Marco Vunapola. And then big love, brother Johnny. Kicked high from Frank Lamani. 38 minutes through this contest now, taken nicely by Charles Piatel. What can he do? He loves to run the ball. He's trying to bounce through a couple of tackles, but it's dragged down by Ratuva, who is still struggling after his big knock that he took a little bit earlier on. Now, William Harvili, I changed my name, Hamish, says PS4 Pro Rugby. PS4 Pro Rugby. Oh, is that Kyle? Is it? No, Kyle's on Xbox, isn't he? Who is PS4 Pro Rugby? Do let me know. I did see the video. Cheers for the shout out, says Sebastian. Yeah, as well. Did you like the little, I put the little Romanian flag up on that thing. I'm starting to work out how to use that little board to put random designs on. So I was putting like the flags of the teams that I thought was going to win. Also, my name was, so it's Jason. Okay. That helps me out. And also, did you see the guy using your commentary? I didn't in the end, but I mean, who knows? I guess I can't really stop it, can I? Because my voice isn't copyrighted. And also, we do commentary for the second day commentary for India versus England. Sadly, I won't be able to do the second day because it is, it's going to be very hectic with the rugby that we've got coming up. And also, what's the scoreboard? Also, just came back from supper break, says Mark. So we are currently sitting 22-0 to Fiji. It's a little bit behind. Tonga had a disallowed try of Malakai Fekatoa as he did knock it on. And then also Israel Folau now injured in this contest. And now it's going up in the front row. Only another 20 seconds left in this half. It's a big push from the big number one here, Reti Hatet. And come on, Tonga says Daddy Fat Six. And also, unfortunately, mistake-ridden Tonga side. Hopefully, second half they improve. And come on, lads and ladettes, smash that like. 267 viewers, 34 likes. Come on, fellas, let's get to 100. And also, what are some sites to watch the game at or services? I tried Sky. That's not working. Sorry for all the questions. Cheers, Chiruni. No worries at all. So have you got a VPN, Chiruni, maybe? Because if you do, with a VPN, I would set your location to, where's the location? I guess set it to Ireland, somewhere around, or I guess UK or anywhere in the world, and then go on the World Rugby website. You will be able to watch the game live from their website. And cricket doesn't exist today. Go say that as an England fan. Says it was Sebastian. And also let's go Tonga, Stallion Power. And yeah, it's just not quite working for the Tongas in the first half. Working from the UK without a VPN for me. Says I am nutty. Okay, so if you set it to the UK for your VPN and then go on World Rugby's YouTube channel or the website, you should be all good at Singapore as well. Says 3 Ronan for somewhere that it is working. So there are a few options. Are you streaming the All Blacks game? Certainly am. We have got the All Blacks versus Ireland. Then it is Wallabies versus England, Springboks versus Wales, and then Scotland versus Argentina. And close enough to New Zealand, so a bit better. Says 3 Ronan. And Fiji, let's go, baby, says Hunter there. And also, how do we attain a free VPN? Says soothing and relaxation music. It's a tricky one for VPNs because normally it's kind of you get what you pay for. So if it's a free one, there's a chance that you could end up with a virus, unfortunately, which is the last thing that you want. But I know that the replay or the highlights of this game should be on the All Blacks YouTube channel or Stan's YouTube channel, but that will just be the highlights. But that's going to be halftime now, 22-0. To Fiji in the early stages. And also we have got there, how do we watch it live? If you are in New Zealand, it is on Sky Sport 1. If you're in Australia, it's on Stan Sport. If you are anywhere else in the world, you should be able to watch it on World Rugby's either YouTube channel or their website. It worked as well, it says Chadruni. So that is awesome news for yourself in Wales for the upsets. That's solo. And also, yes, Hamish will be streaming the AB games. And there says Marco Vonapola. Yeah, we got a big weekend of rugby. Come on, Tonga, says XO. But what we will do while we are at halftime is I'm actually going to get a different scoreboard because this one has not been behaving for this match. So we will go create a scoreboard. There we go. We'll go to one that we have already used in the past that we know works. Create a sports scoreboard, I almost said. A sports scoreboard. The home side is Fiji, not Fiji. Fiji. The away side is Tonga, and the period length is 40. Show the timer, show team fouls. We don't have team fouls, so that's all good. 40 minutes. Fiji will add some points to their board because they are currently sitting on 22. Tonga are sitting on 0. And then we'll go like this. Additional tab, like that. Like that. Oops, that's not it. That. There we go. We'll go here. Here. I bet you it updates to 22 now. No, it doesn't. Okay, what we are going to do is we will stop screen sharing. You can see either side of my green screen for just half a moment. Go to this one, share that one, back, boom, 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 pow. There we go. Tonga versus Fiji. We've got 40 minutes left in this contest. I just realized that it's going to actually count up from 40. So I might actually change that a little bit so that I can control it, and we will go that it's actually going to be 80 minutes for the period length. Timer counts down as the opposite. We'll go down to down to 40 minutes. One moment, ladies and gentlemen. This will only take a little short snippet. And there we go. Right, and now if I go like this, here we go. Should it be all fixed? And thank you, man. Says Jeff, no worries at all. And also, Fiji is real good. Still early. And they're no way Bok going to crush the Welsh. Says Marco Vonapola. It's going to be an interesting matchup, that is for sure. But I'm hoping it is going to be a relatively close one for the first half, and then it may go downhill. Are you going to watch it, Johnny? Do let me know if you guys are going to be watching those games that are on late in New Zealand live. It is going to be a 3:05 p.m. kickoff here in New Zealand, a little bit early in the morning, but we will be live. By the way, Izzy has had the worst debut in World Rugby history. He touched the ball once. Actually, no. I would say Will Jordan probably has that if we're talking about like these lower sides, because he went on the field, he tried to make a tackle, he got concussed, and then he had to go off. And thanks for the comments. Says Karalo there, Marco Vonapola. I'll eat 6 cans of Pulu Masima. Over the Bok win as well, says Solo. And also, do you still play Rugby Challenge 4? Not as often as I did, but I am hoping to bring back some sort of Rugby Challenge series. I actually want to do a Fiji and Drua career mode and a Moana Pacifica career mode at some point. And also, let's go Fiji, says Dobby. And also, I'll be on the stream for the late one. And Izzy Folau got used to play in soft rugby Tier 2 league for Catalans and Japanese touch rugby. Welcome back to internationals as well, says Marco Vanapola and rugby. Let's go. Says Jeff, yeah, there is certainly plenty of rugby taking place today, and I can't wait for all of these other matches. In fact, while we're at it, do let me know your predictions for the other matches that we have got coming up, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, New Zealand versus Ireland, Australia versus England, South Africa versus Wales, and Argentina versus Scotland. Do let me know the predictions. Looks like Fiji versus Samoa in the finals. There's Roman soldiers there, and that would certainly be a massive clash. I see quite a few Tongan supporters in Fiji, which is great to see that they have turned up for this matchup. As this field, it's looking like it's pretty full around the sides, and Izzy caught hanging out. And also we have got their Solo will prepare to gain 5 kgs overnight and go out for the next week. At least it's a week of work, Toko, as well. Says Marco Vunapola. But currently looking through at some of the stats that we've had, possession actually more in favour of Tonga than Fiji, 58%, 56% for the territory, and more time in the opposition, 22. But those handling errors, 5 against, and I don't have the right to predict international games, brother. Says Sebastian. I mean, to be fair, I'm normally shocking at them as well. I predicted Australia to win that game up against Samoa. I got that one wrong. I predicted Fiji to win this game, which I'm happy about because it does seem like it's going to be going that way. And the alphabet people, everybody run. It also New Zealand, Aussie, South Africa, and Argentina for me. Says Roman soldiers. Also, every home side for them. And also, there's United Nations of fans up in this chat. Impressive diversity, Kiwi lads. Says Solo. And that's why I absolutely love these rugby live streams, because no matter what time it is of the day, we always have people from all around the world, which is absolutely awesome. We'll be in front for 50 to 60 minutes, and then we'll fade to lose maybe 10 to 12 points, says Peter Richards. And Malachi needs to fix up. Says the hero there, and also me too, says Joseph. And New Zealand versus Ireland. Oof, tough fight, says Jeff. And that is actually the next one that we are covering on the channel. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to be nervous for the two sides. Might even put the suit on if we feel like it, because it is a pretty big match. Seeing New Zealand go head-to-head up against the Irish. Now, the Māori All Blacks, they did actually play up against Ireland not too long ago, but it is a completely different Irish side that they have gone with. Another yawn. Or myself, but by the time that this match actually ends, it will be about 5 o'clock, and we'll still have about an hour and a half before our next live stream. And New Zealand 13 plus points, Australia 12 and under, and South Africa 13 plus, and also New Zealand to win by 14 points. Says Peter Richards there as the prediction. See, that's the thing. Ireland, I'm a little bit concerned that they're going to be doing not too badly. And also, could you do a collaboration with the All Blacks jersey? We always look at different collaborations to do in the future. But yeah, it's just more coming up with a video idea that is something that people want to do with your type thing. Because we've done quite a few rugby itches. You guys know we have got our kind of prediction series that we do each and every week. And also something even a clean sweep for the first games. Let's see what Schmidt can do coaching the ABs. Says Marco Vunapola. And that's the thing. If New Zealand go down at Eden Park, that would be absolutely huge for Ireland. And that would certainly, I guess, put a little bit of a spanner in the works, but I believe New Zealand should be able to win it. I believe I predicted New Zealand by 5 as well as that one. And also, come on, Tonga, do something. Why you stop running, run. Stop the Fijians from scoring, convert, score Team Tonga MMT. Come on, do something. Come on, Izzy. Come on, Team Tonga as well, says Mama Maka. Although, unfortunately, Israel Folau actually injured, so he will not be able to play. And Hong Kong beat Tonga for rugby itch. Says it was Xavier, and also come on Tonga and Peter Richards. I don't like Valimza as fly half cover. Pollard should have started. Says Solo, and also go Fiji. Says Sorella, and there as well. So I guess the big question, ladies and gentlemen, Australia, England. Who are we picking for that game? Because that is a tricky one to predict. We saw Australia A go down up against Samoa, a whole different side, taking on England. I think it's going to be close. I think I predicted England by 3 in my prediction, just because I feel like they're going to fire back big time. And also we have got their, hey, mate, when is the All Blacks game? And will you cover it? We certainly will. So it is going to be starting, if we're looking at from this time in New Zealand. So it's 4:24 p.m. New Zealand time currently. Kickoff is at 7:05, but we will be starting at 6:45. So 6:45 New Zealand time in about 2 hours 20, England by 20. And the laughing faces as well. Imagine if it happens. I feel like there would be a lot of angry Australians. Although I think that Gavin Coombs deserve to start over Peter O'Mahony, Caelan Doris, Josh Van der Flair, and Coombs as the loose boy round. Also, Vetti says, Jeff, let's go the flying Fijians in England, but hope the Aussies win, says Steve Ronan. And also Vetti and Quade Cooper will embarrass Smith, says Xavier. Although the thing is, Smith probably embarrassed himself enough last week with his kicking, so he will be fired up, and his running game is still very strong, Marcus Smith, so we'll have to wait and see how it goes. England will beat Australia. The English are moaning about injuries, but still have a strong team out by 7 to 10 points. Says Peter Richards, and also says Sim Slayer, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing brilliantly. Tonga versus Fiji, massive Pacific Island battle that we are witnessing. Currently 22-0 to Fiji, but Tonga could have been a lot closer. Just making mistakes 5 metres out from the line. A rate Izzy Folau and Vanaya's game so far. So we will go out of 10. Israel Folau, I'll give him a 2 out of 10. Harsh. He's touched the ball once, and now he's injured, so he's not playing anymore. So that's why he gets a 2. Vanaya Habossi, for me, has probably been an 8 or a 9, as he has been incredibly impressive. He was able to find the offload early on that set up the try, been running hard at the line, and hasn't really put a foot wrong throughout this contest. And what happened to Izzy? Never mind Izzy. All the best. Come on, Tonga. Get something on the board. Fly, Tonga, fly. And there, dance, Tonga, dance. Best of luck, Tonga. So, yeah, it was actually a leg injury for Israel Folau. He was limping. And because of it, it does mean that he is not going to be continuing this match. And instead, Tima Whaiananuku on debut does get that opportunity. I think England will beat Australia by 10, but I want Aussie to win, and I want the All Blacks to win, says it will there. And Cooper and Smith are the grandsons of Carlos Spencer, says Solo, and Australia will win, says Balmain there as well. Vanaka, Tonga, and Fiji, says Sky Travel Fiji. And that's the thing. I absolutely love watching these two sides play. Sky Travel Fiji, by any chance, are you actually like an airline account? Out of curiosity, and how many people, if you did end up doing the kind of flying of people, how many people flew in for this game? Because I know that there is a packed out crowd currently, and also thought Folau went off to wax his legs. Not that I know of, although it might be one of the perks of having a leg injury, I guess. And also Wananavu Vitti as well, says Tups there. I think Australia or England will beat Australia by 10, but I want Aussies to win, and I want the All Blacks to win. And Tosa Tonga Tosa, says Marco Avonapola. But now we are almost ready to go, ladies and gentlemen, for the next stage of this match. What we're going to do is we're going to go like this. And I'm hoping as soon as I press this button, the second half of my scoreboard will begin. Maybe. Time has started. If I click this button, there we go. The scoreboard is going to be behaving itself. Hopefully it's nicely taken by Tuatavuku, who dropped down to a knee to take it. It's going to be a win-win situation for England if they win. Will count as a massive one if they lose. Eddie might piss off, says Sebastian. Although, what do you think of the team, Sebastian? I know that a lot of people have said that this is actually not a terrible lineup that he selected for this first game of Fly, Tonga Fly, and smack it for getting injured. And I love your team, Tonga. Come on, focus, Tonga, work hard, Tonga, keep it rolling. Jaron from New Zealand, go, Tonga, says Mamanaka. And also, good thing about the Fiji game is that there's one Fijian fan bound to stream it from home on their phones in front of the TV, copyright free, says Sammy Souza. And I think All Black series will be 2-1, and the ABs will lose the third game, which is sad because I'm going to it, says Will. And also a little bit earlier on, we have got Sim Slayer said what happened to Fiji after the 2007 World Cup, struggled to be a competitive nation in the top 6. It's a very tricky one because Fiji, it's kind of one of those ones of the unpredictability can sometimes cost you games. And we've seen that firsthand for Fiji, but they seem like they're really finding themselves a new lease of life at the moment. I love the lineup, in fairness, Sebastian. Yeah, that's what I've heard about this team. It's actually like everyone's gone, we don't like Jones, but team's all right this week. Hopefully they can go decently as well. And fly, Tonga fly. And then as well, but now it is going back for the initial knock on. And Ben O'Keefe signals the scrum feed for Tonga. So if Tonga want a chance in this game, they do need a very good start to the second half. And also go Tonga, go, says Reed. And also Tonga, fly as well. And go 5 and also O. And Argentina by 12 and under versus Scotland. And there's, to be fair, being stacked is one thing, but cohesion and time together is another. But Tonga will start the fight, says Amy Souza. And also he must just retire. Tonga already have Deepwood as is. And go Tonga, says Mamamaka. Yeah, handling error 6 for Fiji, 5 for Tonga. So quite even for the handling department. I've just realized anytime that they stop their clock, I will also have to stop my clock, or else it will end up just going a little bit too quick. But it's still closer than what we had for the other live stream. But now it is going to be Sonatane Takaloa passes back to Malakai Fekatoa, and now Charles Piatel. Naya Thalevu, he fends him off, trying to turn him inside out. It's a nice tackle on the halfway line on Piatel, though. Now Takaloa passes off to Sione Toipoloto. In fact, it's going to be the number 2, Sam Molly. They're going back for another knock-on, though, from Tonga. It's just a little bit of a mistake each time that it reaches the breakdown. And come on, Tonga. Cheers, King T as well, but another mistake. Unfortunate for the Tongans, because they have had their moments throughout this contest, but it's any time that that ball goes down, it just kills the momentum that they have got. Charles Piatel with some nice stepping, then he was dragged down by Naya Thalevu, and like I mentioned, he has actually been playing for Stade Francais. Another player at Stade Francais, Nani Lamape. Those two have been tearing it up into the top 14, although Lamape a little bit quieter overall, I would say, than Naya Thalevu. We have seen a little bit more of him out on the wing throughout the scene. I think South Africa has the best lineup for this weekend, says Delamain there, and also the Tongan woman I see in the crowd look fierce and bigger, says I am nutty. And there as well, but they are certainly showing their support for the Tongan side. That was hardly even a push from Tonga at that scrum time. And now because of that, Fiji, they will be going back for the penalty. Nicely done once again. But currently 43.5 minutes through this contest. It was a mistake in the front row from Fisiahui, Sam Molly, and also Sione or Siale Takalua. Siale Takalua, I believe that's the first name, isn't it? And the cars are bigger than Nella Tupos. There's Marco Vunapola, sorry. But now, line out throw for the Fijians. 44 minutes through. If they score themselves the first try of the second half, are there bonus points in the Pacific Nations Cups? Is probably a good question. I'm going to check to see whether or not it does tell me, but now nice run forward for Fiji. Lamani goes across. Tetetela tries to kick it in behind. It's going to sit up for Charles Piatel. Too much space, and you cannot afford to just give that man the ball. It's going to be in touch. His foot was on the line, but the referee said play on. Just for now, it looks to be a big crowd. It certainly is. Very good turnout in Fiji for this contest, but now Tonga hanging on to it. Takaloa puts up the box kick. And for it to come down just inside of the field of play, it's going back for the initial penalty, says Ben O'Keefe. So a lot of penalties for offside actually making their way through. Okay, so Samoa got themselves 5 points. So I believe it's 4 or more. Yeah, 4 or more points, I believe. Or not 4 or more, sorry. But 4 tries gets you the bonus point, I believe. And then it is the bonus point for being within 5. So that is why Australia are sitting on 2 points. And that was mental. Bint in the crowd at last night's game. She showed her knockers to the lads on the field. And it still didn't motivate them. Did that get shown on like the TV, Sebastian? That was the one game that wasn't shown here, I know of. Anyway, I know that we don't get France versus Japan as the other game, and also Fiji have so many quality players, battle hardening in the European leagues where the attention rate is higher than any other Super Rugby. And I also think you did well. Tonga do something in Ireland All Blacks 3-0 in the series. Now the line out for Sam Molly. Throws it nicely off the back. Alamana Matanga now. Takaloa tries to step through. Wasn't quite able to get his way through that defensive line. Now it's going to be Fafita passing it off. And also is George Bridge leaving the Crusaders? Not sure, but he doesn't really get a huge amount of opportunities for them now that they've got Lester Whaiananuku. And also it is a several reason. Also, now my pervert mate went to the game and took a picture. I see. And I assume he sent you that picture, Sebastian. Or did he just tell you that it happened? And also France have an in-house academy in Fiji and pick him young and bring him over to the riches of the south of France. And also fly high Fiji. That's not ideal that we're already yawning and we're only up to the second game. We've still got another 4 more matches, including one that has taken place in 2 hours, 15 minutes. And that will be Ireland taking on New Zealand at Eden Park. Massive clash. Playing in the wet, chilled to the bone English, and the Irish conditions tend to do that to you. It's the same reason why the Britain-based Cummels crashed the butty with ease as well, says Augustine. But looks like another injury picked up here for Tonga. And be nice if Tonga score from here, says Nom. I'm exactly right. If they can get themselves just a little bit further back into the game, I see that they've actually stopped their clock, so I will do the same. We will go back and we will match what their clock says. There we go. We've got like that. And also Tosaviti. And there as well, says Josh Green. But more territory, more possession for Tonga. They just haven't been able to get over that try line. They did have the close chance for Malakai Fekatoa, but unfortunately making that mistake, Whakaliete Nurses currently attending to Israel Folau. I'm not sure what that first word is, but I feel like I probably regret reading it out because I assume it's something possibly bad, but it is going to be Sione Havili Talatui making his debut for Tonga and Vokaso Pulanaiti making his way off the field now. So Ulamali making his way out there. Sam Mully making his way off now, but Tonga still got some decent support in attendance for this matchup, which is great to see. It is being played in Suva. Next week, it is Lautoka that will be hosting the games. 12 p.m. It is going to be the matchup taking place between Samoa and Tonga and Fiji. They will be playing up against Australia A, and it means womanly men. Augustine agree. The hard-nosed mentality added to the Pacific flair equals danger. See, it's solo there. Right, Tonga, 10 meters out from the line. I'd like to think they won't take on the 3 here, and they'll just try a risky tactic of maybe going for the corner and hope for the absolute best. That's unfortunate that we're yawning. So I do apologize if anyone also yawned. Okay, he's still getting strapped up currently. So due to that, we're going to do some nice guitar playing while we wait for his knee to get put back together. And I'll watch the New Zealand game, old mate, and have you play over it. Says Dale, mate. Appreciate that a lot, mate. I love the fact that this guitar goes like see-through. Whoops. Whoops. We're still waiting for the player to get up, so that is why I am playing the guitar. And also, hello, Izzy, bring it on. I was like, I'm on Toko for the try. Now, currently, they're rolling more Tonga off the back. This is a good opportunity. I'm going to put the guitar down lightly. See how we go. That one, Solomoni Funaki, only a couple meters short now. Takaloa, I need to start my clock back up as well. It's going to be a good run from Tonga. Close. Oh, the ball's on the line. The ball is on the line. Is it a try? It's got to be a try. It was on the line, wasn't it? It's got to be. He said no try. And a penalty for double movement, put the guitar on the amps. And also we have there, try to Tonga, but unfortunately, once again, inches is the difference. It was the double movement for Sione Tuipulotu. I feel bad for Tonga because they've been literally so close yet so far away multiple times throughout this match. What happens here? And I know it's going to be a try. So he goes down. Oh, tell you what. They're saying it has to be done in the one motion. I don't think there was a mile off one motion. And also 11 months down, one more to go for the platinum badge. See Sebastian there as well. That's going to be, that's the thing. I like the diamond look of that one. It's kind of based off Minecraft colors, I guess you could say, just because it was like, what color do you make diamond other than like silver or kind of half by clear? That's going to be called as not straight. So Tonga will get themselves the scrum feed about 40 meters out. No double movement in rugby. That's rugby league as well, says Tim Bryan. Tafuga, hopefully I've said that correctly. Sorry if I did get that slightly wrong. And also TKL equals Jack White from the White Stripes. And what happened to Bernard Foley, where he at now? I know he was in Japan. I think he might have headed to France at one point, though. But other than that, I think he might have still been in Japan. Actually, is he in the USA? Might be in the USA and go upstairs, says Augustine. Unfortunately, they don't actually have TMO for these matches, which is a shame because I think that one could have been overruled as a try for Tonga. And also, we have got there, they changed the rules in 2014, says Augustine. And also, let's go, says Alisi there. And that's why Tonga not on today because of too much Waikava last night. And while it's been a year, woohoo, big things over here, says Marco Vonapola. Now, Driving forward, Sonatane Takalua, he's got this one available once again. Tonga just trying to find their way over the try line. Takalua goes back across. Anzilo Tuatavuki, they are talking about the fact that he is on debut for this match. Same with Tima Whainanoku. Also a few other Moana Pacifica players getting to make their debut for this one. And also, okay, I feel like I would be terrible at pronouncing some of those ones. And also, last time I checked, Foley was in Japan. Says it was Sebastian there. And come on, Marco, prepared. A cover for the Uso, says King T. Now it's still on the Tongan side. They're up to 5 phases now. Nice offload made. Number 13. He's probably the guy who gets the least recognition in that backline, purely because of the fact that when you see Malakai Feketoa on his inside, you've got Charles Piatel. Speaking of wingers now, it is going to be Tima Whainanoku with a great step. Still driving forward. He's aggressive, just like his brother. And he will be playing in a later game. His brother Lester Whainanoku starting at number 11 for the All Blacks up against Ireland. 10 metres out now for Tonga. Nice step made once again. Ball available. Charles Piato, actually first receiver, going to try his luck. We're going around the side of the breakdown. 5 out, 9 phases. Now, Tonga, one last chance possibly before we reach the subs for some of these guys. Try and score a try now once again. Malakai Feketoa gets close, driven backwards in the tackle. Good tackle made by Ravovo. Now going off to the left-hand side though. Nice draw and pass, quick hands, and in the corner it will be, I believe it was Tanzilo Tuatavuki. In fact, it's going to be the number 19. Nicely done. It's a debut. Oh, it's a knock-on. It's a knock-on. I just feel bad. That's the 3rd disallowed try for Tonga. Every time they get close, they just get told, nah. Like they're saying, commentators thought it was all right. How do you get a situation? Derek, come on, Tonga. No way, that's a knock-on. So, yeah, they called it as a 4 pass. It was flat for me. I mean, it wasn't a mile forward if it was forward. That's all I'm going to say. And like the commentator saying, not a lot in that at all, but it would have been a try on debut for Sione Avili. Is this that tries for Tonga thingy? Or is this still that tries for Tonga thingy still going? It is not. I think they actually cancelled it about halfway through the Super Rugby season. It would be quite cool to have it for this competition, though. And he wishes else, says Augustine, also still no try. And there says John, it's going to be off the back now. Frank Lamani, short side, brilliant footwork there from Wainanyolo. And I was how's Tonga doing? They've been extremely close. They've had 3 denied tries here throughout this matchup. So if they had those 3, it would be extremely close. But now, Hanaya Habosi's got it. It's going to be him versus Tima Whainanoku backing himself on the outside. But Tima Whainanoku makes a solid tackle 40 metres out from their own line. Until hours away from the AB game, and you already have 10 people waiting on that live stream, said Sebastian. So, yeah, I feel like it could be a pretty big one, perhaps, for New Zealand versus Ireland. Going to be an awesome matchup. And it might even be a suit-worthy live stream match that we do. As a nice run forward once again from Ratuva. He's had a solid game now off the bench. And it was, I believe it was Nayataya Rawa. I think I've said that terribly now. Kicked him behind from Nathaniel. Waiting for it to bounce up. Or it was Tuithuvu, in fact. Now Charles Piato under a lot of pressure here. Tima Whainanoku joins the breakdown 52 minutes into this game. And it is still going to be just on the side. Go like this. And we'll go like that. There we go. Right, I just had to get my mouse in the right place. Now kicked into touch. It's a brilliant kick from Fiji. Or from Tonga, sorry. Fiji take it quickly. Did they tell her there? And can you start a rugby challenge career mode again? I am actually looking at either doing Moana Pacifica or maybe Fiji and Drua as my next career mode on Rugby Challenge 4. That is a good clearance down to 40 metres out, Fitty Buck. And there, as I says, I'm nutty. And also, what does O'Keefe have against Tonga, says Puhansu. I have no idea, but it just seems like it's not quite Tonga's day to be able to score. Unfortunately, because like I mentioned, if they had gotten all 3 of those tries that they've had very good opportunities to get, you're looking at about a 19 points to 22 game perhaps. And okay, whenever he rests in Samoa, says Sola. And also we have got there $50 and also Dave Arveli totally took all the looks compared to his bro. Says it was Marco Vanapola, but a few more changes being made. It is Tokolahi making his way off the field. And I believe that is going to be for David Lolo here. And also it is Sosefo Apakatoa, also Joe Apakatoa, I should say, that he has known. And also Keith, it's Kifi. And there as well, says Joseph. And also Maori All Blacks and an Australian Indigenous team should be in this comp. Says Bunnies, I agree. And also alongside that, if they were only going to have one Australian side, I would add the Cook Islands or maybe a makeup of all of the other Pacific nations. Tuvalu, if they've got any players who want to play. The Cook Islands, Marshall Islands, Solomon Islands, you name it. Like, get them in there and give them a crack. Yes, they'll get beaten badly, but at least they get some time at international rugby level. And also, Fiji is a great team, though, says Alaisi. Hopefully I said it correctly, and they certainly are. And it's like that. Sometimes some referees are useless, says Augustine. And also, we've got their Fiji love their running rugby. It's awesome to see. And yeah, at the end of the day, the Fijian side, they were always going to be tough to beat. I hope that's not my voice already starting to disappear. That would be danger for ourselves, I would think, if we do run out of vocal cords before we get through this match. The Aussie Indigenous team would be one player, Kurtley Beale. Suzik Xavier now around the side. Boy, he's a big unit, Luke Tagi. He's done nicely. It looks like Ratu Naya Rawa is currently down. Beautiful step from Naya Thalevu. Ball on the inside. And Tui Thovu, he will score the try. And Fiji get themselves another one when the ball and the way of the game is going your way. You can certainly have an impact. And now it's going to be 27 points. And Aussie Indigenous can borrow Latrell Mitchell and Selvin Cobo from the NRL. And how long left of this game? We have still got another 25 minutes left. There we have the Forward Cup for those less skilled teams. And also it's qualifying 20 for the Rugby World Cup, says Augustine there as well. And yeah, I feel like it would be awesome to see them get a little bit more time, because I haven't actually heard any news about the Hong Kong, South Korea, and Malaysia games that are going on currently. But Tonga, it's great to see them in this competition because it just gives them more of an opportunity to grow as a nation in rugby. And they have actually got their World Cup qualifying match coming up, more than likely up against Hong Kong in the near future, and got a feel for Tonga. And there says Nov Mum, yeah, it's been a rough game for them. Sitting 27-0 up against Fiji with the 3 disallowed tries. And OMG, I'm saying nothing, says John there as well. It was nicely done. And also Tutika from the Fijians, and my cousin is half Tongan. He took his Tongan uni off and put back on his Manu Samoa uni, as Oz says Warriors Q. So trying to make sure that he is supporting the team that are possibly winning in this one. But there's the thing, Tonga, I think, up against Australia A, I think they've got a decent crack, to be honest, because they have got those big players. If Israel Folau's injured, it's one less player in the back line that they have got the availability of using. But they should still be all right. And also drinking kava and watching the games. Cheers, is Karoi there. It's a nice strike of the ball. And now that will add another 2 points onto the board for Tetetela. And we will go like this. And we will go like that as well. There we go. And also Tonga asked to start with Samoa's score from the last game. Fiji says main next week. Says a Warriors Q. And also would Adam Coleman make the Wallabies? It's a good question. He's close at the moment. He plays well for the London Irish, but it's whether or not they would pick him over someone like a Will Skelton or something, because I'd assume they'd only go for like one overseas international. And I mean, you've also got the likes of, who else have we got who's from overseas? Sean McMahon. I think he's more of a loose forward though, isn't he? Sorry. Who else is there? Ravovo now kicking it forward. Bump for one more time. Oh no, it was close to the try, but I think Tonga were able to get the ball down, and it is going to be taken back. And I put the prediction video in the chat. It will be the perfect opportunity to promote the sport channel. And there as well, says Sebastian in the chat. I assume, one moment, did I miss one? 2 hours. Oh, no, sorry. You meant the, yeah, no, never mind. I'm a bit slow sometimes. I have actually got that video also coming up on the main channel as well for the upcoming one that we are going to be doing. I think we've got about 3 or 4 of the previews coming up on the main channel, as well as the sport channel. And Fiji to solid team. says Ioane there as well. And lots of cover balls around the stadium when Drua meet the Highlanders. As Eskaroi, and also, Gregan was born in Zambia. Says Solo taken nicely by Tuithu, the man who just scored himself the try now. Manasa Mataeli, I would think, wouldn't be too far off getting his debut for Fiji. It's a knock-on from the Fijians, though. Now Tamua Manu passes it back across. Malakai Fekatoa goes for the chip and chase. He's been hit with a no-arms tackle that they might look at. And Rory Arnold is a lock overseas. He is the one who I was trying to think of that I couldn't quite get off the tip of my tongue. But now 59 minutes through this contest. And Malakai Fekatoa, he's disappointed with that one. And also, RA really likes killing itself to digress here. RA, Rugby Australia, I think that is, sorry. That did just work out. Because, if they leave Super Rugby, it's going to be weird. Because it will be very strange, I guess you could say, with not having them in the competition. And also his brother, both for Toulouse, Rory and Richie Arnold, and also Tane Takalua for short. And there, as I says, Eskaroi. And Fijians are really out there putting on a rugby world. And you see countries like Spain and Scotland have Fijian descent players, their national and sevens team. It's beautiful. There's Warriors Q. Geez, that man looks like Waisaki Naholo, sorry, but it is Tamani Valu, almost able to get himself a try just before. And go Tonga, and rugby has really opened the doors for all our Polynesian folks. Go Tonga, says Mamanamaka. Yeah, as well. I'm excited to see how this one ends up ending. Kato Nokiafi, Samasoni Takiaho, off at Tonga Fasi, and Tupavai should switch in the future to Tonga, says Sola. That would certainly be a strong side that they would be starting to build. And the good news with that is it's a little bit more strength in that four pack, a few more experienced heads. Go Fiji, go, says Naval. I've yawned a lot on this live stream. I think it's because I'm looking a little bit further off to that way. I moved my chair so that the sun wasn't a factor. And because of that, I'm kind of looking straight at the light when I look at the screen as well, which seems to just have yawning effects. Now it's going to be a nice drive from Fiji, sitting on the halfway line currently, breaking off the back. I assume Sam Matavesi might be close to getting his chance and keep it real, no dreaming as well, says Ioane. And also, where's Johnny Dyer was playing? Says Eskaroi, and also we've got even Richie should play for Tonga in the later years of his career. And it's too bad that those people will be too old for any real impact due to the 3-year waiting period. Yeah, it is going to be tough. It's great that Malakai Fekatoa, Piatau, and these type players have been able to make their way over effectively. And also have your mum make you a strong tea. Says, I am nutty there. I've actually never had a cup of tea in my life, believe it or not. I'll probably just drink some water and be good to go. Isn't it so bizarre that Tamani values here is straight? Says, like I've got a bowl, and also not a good week for Tonga in league or union. Says Cooper Cronk and Leash go. Says, it was Ivor Rosedar, amazing. Now 20 minutes left in this fixture. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be back for the next week of the Pacific Nations Rugby that will be taking place. Also later on tonight, we have got Ireland versus New Zealand. We have got Australia versus England, South Africa versus Wales, and then Argentina versus Scotland. We are covering all 4 of those games on the channel. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And also ever hear of hair salons, they do wonders as well, says Augustine. And there's all that now. Is going to be the scrum feed for Fiji. The crowd, the moment, it sounds like they've gone silent. They were waiting for the big push from the flying Fijians. Nice work there from Tetetela. The ball almost ended up going through and celebrate after, not before, says Ioane there. And also, it's been a good week for shop sales for Tongan flags, says Joseph, and also celebrate whenever, says Ioane there. Nicely taken by, it was Tuatavuki. Dragged down a huge amount of pressure on him by, it was actually the big man, Tamani Valo. Now back to William Harvilli in the pocket. It's been charged down. The extra pressure now on Tonga, trying to hang on to this ball. It's nicely done by Joe Apakatoa. Now, looks like Manu Paya will be slinging it across to the right-hand side. A little bit of a loose juggle there for, I believe it was Lotto Anisi. And also, it's weird because no one likes the money values here. It's straight. It's all frizzy afros. And you have a good business for the $2 shops, says Cooper Cronk. But now Fiji on the halfway line. Beautiful run forward from Wanangolo. Unable to get that pass and the offload away that he was after, but it is still going to be in the hands of Fiji. 45 metres out from the line. Now, what's the bet? The bet Tonga won't score. Unfortunately, they've had many opportunities. So I'm going to say it's unfortunately quite likely for them because I think they've used up most of their opportunities already. Now it's going to be nicely done by Fiji. Flick out the back. Vinaya Habosi steps in on debut. He's going to score the try. Might have winded himself in the process, but Vinaya Habosi, he tore it up for the Fijian drawer throughout Super Rugby Pacific, and now he's shown that at international level that man can also be one to watch out for the upcoming World Cup. And also Fiji let loose another volcano in a Tonga. Says, I have nothing. Also, we have got there. What's the best Fiji or what's the bet? Fiji won't score. And there, Tonga won't score, but now that is going to be a few more points out of 34 points for Fiji. Vinaya Habosi does manage to score it, and that will be a nice, easy conversion as well, making the score 36-0. And also, we're there. I'll just say Abula Vanaka, says that John. Now, another line. Well, nice, easy kick, I should mention, for Tetetela. If Tonga finish on naught, it will be an injustice. Says Sebastian. Yeah, they've had a very good fight in this contest. It's just now 34, in fact, 36-0 sitting there for Fiji. Oh, just under 15,000, one of the highest for an all-Pacific Nations match in Fiji. So a massive achievement, and try to boss man Abusi. And there as well, says Filippo. And how as well, says Ioane. Yeah, they've been close. 3 disallowed tries, which of course is tricky for them, but they do need to make sure that they're more clinical in that next matchup that they have got up against Samoa Bulavanaka from Tonga. And damn, Fiji team is stacked, given 5 points for effort. Says Augustine there. It's going to be kicked in behind. Nicely taken there. Close to the touchline by William Harvelli. Just wrestled down by one in Yolo. Now waiting for this ball. It bounces out the bag. Manu Paya has to jump on it. He's been lined up by the big man Tagi as well. Now back across. First receiver now. It is going to be, I believe, who was that? At first receiver. I want to say that might have been James Fiver. Are you doing Tonga versus Samoa? No, we certainly are. So we will be doing all of the Pacific Nations matches, including those 2 next week. So Samoa versus Tonga, that will be at 12 p.m. New Zealand time. And then the game after that is Australia versus Fiji. And we will be covering that one on the channel as well. Are you going to be live tonight for the AB's game tonight, Hamish? We certainly are. We are going to be live for All Blacks versus Ireland, Wallabies versus England, Springboks versus Wales, and then Argentina versus Scotland. So we have got 4 more live streams that we are doing tonight. So anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Currently 65 minutes down in this contest in Fiji. Okay, Malakai Fekatoa going off the field. That is James Fiver actually making his way out there now. And also go Tonga and there, and just get one, please. And their backline is something else. Tuisova Habosi, Wainyolo, and Tuifuvu. And that's not even mentioning the fact that Tuisova is not playing in this contest. We need joins up with that backline, but where do you put him? That's the big thing. Do you try? Actually, I think you try Tuisova in your midfield. Maybe. I would go with Tuisova at number 12, but he doesn't really play 12. But I feel like with the amount of talent that Fiji have got, the hardest thing is trying to work out how to fit all of these talented players in there. That's another knock on from Tonga there. And it's going to be the knock on and the scrum feed for Fiji. As someone doing France versus Japan says 123 MS. I know that it's not available here in New Zealand, but what we will be doing is throughout that Ireland versus New Zealand game, we will keep you updated with what are the scorers. And also thought on Bodie starting, says Dalmain. I think after that semi-final, he was the right option. After the final, some said he's the wrong option, but I think he should be able to go all right by the start. And Richie Mo'unga, he was a bit under the weather for the week, so that is why I think he was put off the bench instead of starting. And I said Fiji will cause a surprise in the World Cup. And also the only shot Tonga have is the insolence, says I'm Nutty. And Tuisova was playing 13 in France a few times this year. So I guess Naya Thalevu, can he play 12? Because I know that he's probably got 12 locked in, and since he's the captain, he gets first dibs on that spot. So can he play 12, Wainyolo, or not Wainyolo? Or can Wainyolo play 12 though as well? Like Ravovo's gone all right in this match, but it's just, if you want Tuisova in there as well, you're going to have to find another gap to open up. And also go Tonga. And to Papua New Guinea play rugby, says Cooper Cronk. Not hugely. I think they're ranked around maybe 50th in the world, maybe a little bit lower, but they are better at the rugby league side, actually recently beating Fiji in rugby league. And now in the hands of Sam Matavesi. Exciting man in the Gallagher Premiership. Flat pass, very flat in fact. Goes off into the hands of Kamikamita. Another advantage, or in fact they're going back for the penalty now in favour of Fiji for offside. And also hit the sack after the Aussie game. So yeah, probably quite strategic there. I possibly should do the same, but we are definitely going to be up for a little bit longer. I believe we finish our day at about 9 to 9:30 a.m. So in about 14 hours time, somewhere around there, maybe even 16 hours time, in fact. So 16 hours time from now is when our day ends. And then from there, we have got ourselves a rugby league live stream on the Kiwi Lad Sport in the afternoon, Warriors versus Tigers. So that will be our other match that we are doing. And also nice Sera Matavesi there. Oh, same last name as Sam Matavesi. And also my brother, Yatoko, and also who scored for Fiji. So we have seen tries from Wananiolo. Also in this match, we saw Tuithuvu score a try. Habosi has scored the number 5. I've forgotten his name, one moment. Number 5, Ratuva. And then I think there was one other try somewhere along the lines. Well, that might actually be all of them, in fact, for Fiji. But 68 minutes through this game. And also we've got Ivanaka in the commentary. And there's their steps there. And yeah, like I mentioned, we got plenty more coming. Sam Matavesi off the back now, driving. And he's close. And he scores. So if you're asking about tries, we're going to add Sam Matavesi to that list as well. Fiji are getting closer and closer to bringing up the 50 here. If Australia leave Super, says 123 MS. And also let Tonga play in Super, says 123. I mean, they've already got one Moana Pacifica team. So maybe they look at extending. Hang on, it's a penalty. Okay, it's going back, in fact. So it's a no try. And I predict the first ever Antarctican viewer on the AP stream, says Sebastian. Who knows? What is the time in Antarctica currently, I wonder? So there were 3 tries banned for Tonga. There were indeed. Rugby union is far better, popular than rugby league. And come on, Tonga, you still have the best Malo Tonga. And thank you guys, you are doing well. But we will be better in there as well. But Sam Matavesi, unfortunate to miss out on that try. So close, yet so far away. But now 10 minutes left in this contest. And also love you, Tongans. Team Tonga, says Mamimaka. Kicked in behind from Tonga. Goes down. And I'd love to see a Japanese team maybe injected in another Argentinian team. There will be ways around it for New Zealand. And it has been said many times, New Zealand need Australia less than Australia need New Zealand. Like, Australia do need to keep on playing up against New Zealand to keep on improving, I feel. And also we have got there when the horse is half off, says Sione. And also we have got there, as in all the fundies from the government body all went missing, says Marco. And also nothing but love for our Tongan, says Edwin Williams. Yeah, it's been an impressive day of Pacific Island rugby. And just check the temperature there, minus 56 currently. Is that Fahrenheit or degrees, Sebastian? Because either way, I think you would be freezing your balls off, to say the least. And now Fiji, they are going to be having another debut here, and it is Manasa Mataele. Celsius, yeah, nah, that would be a bit chilly in Tongan Language Week. And as I said, Marco Vanapola thrown over the top. Nicely taken, but it wasn't straight. So Tuithuvu going off the field for Manasa Mataele. But yeah, Tonga at the moment, they have got some good players back. Fiji also have been able to use these international players extremely well. And Tonga versus Samoa next weekend are the biggest rivals in the Pacific, says Crisio, and we are going to be covering that match on the channel as well. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, if you do want to help support the channel, we have got a channel membership. It is $5 New Zealand a month. And what that gets you is pretty much access to exclusive emojis that you can put in the chat. It makes you stand out, and also you get a little badge so we can see your comments. And you will see that Sebastian currently has got that gold badge. He has been on the Kiwi Lads Lad train thing for a while. We don't really have a name for it other than, I guess, a Kiwi Lad. Over the top. Nicely taken by Fiji. And unfortunately, another mistake at line-out time for Tonga. It has been where they have really struggled, and come on, Tonga, break that egg, says Filippo. That's starting to now be the penalty to Tonga. Right. Looks like they want to take it quickly. And I would think, Tonga, do you just take this one quickly with the tap rather than going for the corner? Because it has gone wrong most of the time at line-out time. James Fiver, though, will be kicking this one towards the touchline. Got some decent enough distance on it. Oh, it's dead. It's too far. Unfortunately, it also, all I see as Samoa on the road. Says Ace there, and also don't blame the ref. Tonga has been playing bad, and even if those tries were allowed, they would still lose. Says Edwin there. And also Lol says Makavana, or Lol 2 Makavana and Bra says 3 Ron. It's just not going well. I guess it's the best way of describing it. And ride the lad train with the Kiwi lads. Choo choo. Says Sebastian there as well. Do I know any songs with train in it other than, I mean, Happy Birthday doesn't really have a train in it unless it's Thomas the Tank Engine that you're wishing happy birthday. It's quite hard to play one-handed. I'm just slamming my thumb into the kind of string, hoping it makes a noise. The Sea Eagles of Tonga are dead in the water, says Augustine there. But now, another scrum feed. 7 minutes left in this contest. Fiji, they'll be looking to try and get themselves into the 40s. Tonga, they'll be looking to get themselves one. And the Love Train, says a 3-runner and Bra, says Sione. And there as well. And all IRB grants go missing. The King happened to buy himself a new boat the same week. Tonga Rugby received a $1.1 million cash injection. And also they die in water. The sea is their thing. Says Mama Makaba now. Nice run from Ravovo. Didn't quite find the offload that he was after. It was almost able to be turned over from Tonga in the breakdown. Tititela now after Manasa Mateeli. Running hard at Lester Whaiananuku. In fact, it was Tima Whaiananuku, his brother. Now still charging forward nicely. It's a penalty for double movement. Tonga take the quick tap. They are allowed to continue now. Will be Manu Paia. And I like this mentality from Tonga to just try and keep this ball alive. Will be Saula Mali. Now dragged down in the tackle by Tamani Valu. Bounces out the bag. Manu Paia once again going back to James Fiver. Can Tonga do it? They've got one man still out there of those massive internationals that they have been able to bring back, which is Charles Piatel. Where is that magic that he can create? In fact, he might not still be out on the field now that I look at it. He might have actually been one of the players that they took off the field. Tima Whaiananuku receives the bounce pass. It's a great run. He has been tackled by Lamani. Now nice seller to dummy. This is a good run from Sione Havili. Tears it up for the Crusaders, and he's just run over his ex-Crusaders teammate and Manasa Mateeli. And also with Samoa beating Australia twice now. And there as well says Ace, and now Fiji hanging on to this ball once again, just slowing it down. Vanaya Habosi goes across. Brilliant work from Fiji to stop any chance of an attack and play for Tonga Ravovo. The Fijian draw representative. Now also out there, I should mention, is Penny Matawalu, and it looks like now Wainyolo. Beautiful step, beautiful fend. He's still going, but it is going to be dropped now, and William Arveli trying to find a counter offloads it to Lotu Anisi. Can tell who he is because he's got the bright bleach blonde hair on top for Lotto Alisi. And also we have got there in the chat, Manly version beat the Storm last night as well. Yeah, they did very nicely, and the Roosters didn't go too far away. Actually, Charles Piatel is still out on the field. He's been smashed by Habosi, but now Tima Whaiananuku goes for the grubber. He has been tackled though, and it's gone just into the in-goal area, put down, and it will now be a goal line dropout. But Tima Whaiananuku, a decent crack there, trying to find that ball in behind. And also the score says, Andrin, currently we are sitting 36-0 in favour of Fiji. And there isn't too much time left on the clock. In fact, I will quickly adjust my clock so that it matches their clock. I just heard a horse. Where was that horse coming from? I think it was at the game. Not a real horse, though, I don't think. There we go. So that is going to be the way that it currently sits on the scoreboard, and also for the time, and also close game. Says Tiriki Berfis there. Not quite as close as Tonga would have liked, I don't think. For it. Oh, there's a little bit of an injury, so they may end up stop and play relatively soon. And also, we've got Nay, it was me, says Sione, and 91 likes. Come on, 9 more likes. Let's get that to, let's get to that 100 marks. So yeah, anyone who hasn't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And also, if anyone loves the losing style, it's them, no lack of trying though. Says Augustine. Yeah, they've worked extremely hard throughout this match. Lotto and Nisi's just dropped the ball. I love jinxing players. That's also going to be the drop ball from Matawalu though. And it is a double. And is that Falau screaming, getting his legs slacked? Says I am nutty. And also, that's a problem with Pacifica Rugby Union's more corruption than common sense. Samoa's Rugby Union chairman and their recently deposed PM who had the post simultaneously while in office. So I'll say Solo. And also Upsy Brother Boy, says Teriki. But I should mention anyone who isn't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. It is our other channel that we have got. This game, though, is probably a lot more one-sided than a few of the others that we will get to see today. And Tonga from Lee to Union, says Ace. And yeah, as well. But we have got New Zealand versus Ireland, Australia versus England, South Africa versus Wales, and Argentina versus Scotland. So we are almost a third of the way through all of our live streams that we are doing on the channel for today. And TKL, thank you. So says Solo, no worries at all. Still another 2 minutes left of this contest. Penny Matawalu on debut. So many of these Fiji and Dry and Moana Pacifica players getting their debuts, and those Tonga players, they need to slap themselves, have a deep look at themselves. Absolutely shocking, says John there. And also we have got Maka Vanapola. Yes, says Solo now driving forward. Good run, nicely done by it was Kamakamatha. Using Aroni Maui. Trying to steal that one. I think Tonga, did they turn it over? No, they didn't. It's an advantage now in favour of Fiji. Nisove held up almost in the tackle. They're going back for the penalty, and what they need is to burn their Union to the ground and start again. And also we have the Hamish's chief title should be Mokola. Here's Marco Vanapola, and also I think there's a chance, says Sione there as well. It looks like the Fijians want one more. My voice is about to disappear, which is not good because we are only on our second live stream of the day. And like I mentioned, we've probably got another 10 hours or so of talking to come up a bit later on in the evening as well. But it's going to be fun. I do enjoy watching all these international rugbies, and I enjoy it even more when you guys are chilling with us on these ones as well. I really look forward to the Rugby World Cup. I think Tier 2 teams are improving, says the 123 MS, and also beating Australia twice, baby. Says Ace there for Samoa. And now the next week's match, it will actually be Samoa versus Tonga. So that will be an interesting contest to see which way does end up going. But currently now, Fijians have got this ball at the back waiting for it to become available. I believe Penny Matawalu looking to get that one back off Sam Matavesi, and also Vanaka Naukito on na Wino Viti Tatoka Vaikauti. Hopefully I said that somewhere close, but I think I really messed that up, so I do apologise. I thought the Tonga team were having All Blacks and Wallabies in their team. They were just sharp and win, says Chris. Yeah, they did have Israel Folau. He did end up getting injured. It's going to be a turnover now for Tonga. They've got 5 seconds left on the clock. Try and get one last crack, and it's going back for the penalty now. And also now they need me, Sisioni. So maybe one day we will get to see. That's the thing. We've had people in the past that have been talking about the fact that, like, one day they hope to be able to play for the international teams that we do watch. So it will be quite cool to see the future, see who makes their way through. But now James Whaiwa, once again, kicks it downfield. He's missed touch. And now Fiji. The thing is, a lesser side would have kicked this ball out, but Manasa Mataele wants one more try for the Fijians. That is a brilliant run forward after 40 metres out now. Penny Matawalu offloading back. It's a loose ball. Now, going to be back to Kornavola. Good tackle made on him. Tonga steal the ball back in the breakdown. Almost accidental obstruction there for Tonga, but now will be Manu goes back across. That ball spot free. It's going to be the penalty advantage for Tonga, and they are going to be going forward once again. And also, let's go 36 to 1 million. Another yawn. But now, William Havili. He has been able to find touch, and hence what I said. If any union thinks this sort of stuff flies easy, they ought not to exist as well, says Augustine. And also Fiji have multiple, or having a couple months together, so better come on, better communication between them, I assume that is, or chemistry. You give Tonga time, they will improve. Says 123 MS. Yeah, it's going to be massive for them taking part in the Pacific Nations Cup to be able to keep on improving. But now Sehulamali, penalties conceded 15 against Fiji, and I believe there's just been the one yellow card of Tetetela. Sehulamali throws it in. And Tonga, they want to get some sort of points on the board for this contest. Now Manu Paia offloading nicely. Good leg drive. Now, rush defense on 5, tackled by Habosi. He is probably my man of the match for this contest, to be honest. Manu Paia now off to Loto Anisi. I wonder if Finney Anisi will get himself any caps for Tonga in the near future as well. And also, the sleep out looks me name's bro cool as Bachelor Pad. Says Marco Vinapola. Did you see the books that I put on? I found a couple old books, Richie McCaw and Jeff Wilson. So I was like, right, they'll do. But yeah, we've got the lights going. It is just making sure that everything is charged up so that it can all work. And also, you better have a nap before AB's game, says Garen, saying, yeah, I'm yawning a lot. I think it's just from sitting in here. The fire is also going, so it's quite toasty. And big clap for the boys. Good on sides, or good on both sides. So here's Josh Green. Yeah, exactly right. Pacific Island Rugby, we love watching it. And currently, Tonga don't want this game to end. We're up to 83 minutes through this contest. Another yawn. Fiji with the counteract this time. Now do they kick it out? It's a penalty to Tonga. Right, they could get 3 points to get themselves, I guess, some points on the board, but I think they'll go for the quick tap or maybe the corner once again in Samoa versus Fiji in 2 weeks. Going to be 5, says Crisio, and that is going to be another match that we are covering on the channel as well. Vanaka, Fiji, Vanaka. And there as well. Right, it's kicked in a touch from William Havili. To 83 and a half minutes gone in this contest, and neither side want it to end. They want to keep on going right to the death. And now, like they're saying, Tonga, they deserve a try. Can they get it, though? And at least get a penalty, as well, says Ioane. And also, come on, Tonga, says Ephraim there a little bit earlier on. But now, Seula Mali throws in. It's received at the front for Tonga, trying to get this one marking, but it's not quite doing what they want it to. Seula Mali at the back, getting slightly isolated, and it looks like Amoni Nari or Roni Maui's been able to shut it down. The ball is available now for Fiji. Do they kick it out? Penny Matawalu does. And that is going to be the end of the game. The crowd will be disappointed that they didn't get to see any more tries throughout this fixture. But the end score of this contest, 36 points. 2-0 up against the Tongans. So Fiji having an impressive performance, and with this performance, that will put them to top of the table of the Pacific Nations Cup. And second it is Samoa, third Australia A, and then Tonga sitting at the bottom. Thanks so much to you for the New Zealand versus Ireland broadcast, says John. So that will be taking place in 1 hour, 30 minutes time, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as we will be back for that match. England versus Australia also, and then South Africa versus Wales, and Argentina versus Scotland. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all